send you that link again, Josh. I know, but see, it's coming up on the link. You got it? Was it on YouTube? Okay. Yeah, he said it could take a second.
Testing. All right, everybody. We started a little late, and we actually started a little after they got started, having some internet issues at the Dutch. They're adding some services, so we had to wait until some things got online. So here we are. We got Felix and Jaime. Felix is a 409 Fargo. Jaime is a 386 Fargo. Super close Fargo. And this is probably something we can just dub the Pride match. So these guys are playing for pride and money, but they play a lot of pool together. They've been friends a long time, and they wanted to do a BFS to kind of see where they fall as far as pressure and everything else. And you know, for pride, they want to know who's best. We got started late, like I said. Felix got the first game. He ran out, didn't get real good shot at the 8. And then Jaime was working out his stripes and had a couple left and just hung a ball on the side. It clipped the nipple a little and left Felix a shot. So Felix got game 1. We're in game 2 in a little bit of an ugly rack, so they've been going back and forth here. But race to 7, 8 ball. Should be a lot of fun. They actually have they had a crowd come in with them. They got a lot of family here. Some laughs were had when they walked in because they made some shirts showing who they're rooting for, which is pretty cool. So it's too bad some other people didn't make it down tonight. It's too hot, so a lot of people aren't wanting to go out, but it's nice and cool in here at the Dutch, so makes it nice. Good food, good drink.
Hey, are you able to hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, sorry for that, everybody. Some technical difficulties, but seem to be up and running now. Want to thank Patrick Nix and Justin from EvoSports giving us a hand. So we're up and running now. And so yeah, these guys are childhood friends, and they play all the time together, and they talk a lot of smack to each other, and that's what led to this match happening. And so this will be, in addition to the money in the middle, it'll be bragging rights, which for them I think is going to be more important.
So they were going back and forth here, and Jaime made a really nice out. Had a good breakout, had a good shot at the 9, and just hit the 9 a little fat and missed it. So Felix is trying to work his solids out now. I think this is going to be a pretty close match. They were both excited when we were talking when they first got here about the pressure. You know, playing under pressure under these kind of circumstances is new to them. They're excited just like we are to see, you know, how they handle it.
Yeah, they were both pretty nervous. And then the other, it's really cool though. They have a whole table full of friends and family here, which of course adds to the pressure, but also adds to the fun. So pretty cool.
Jaime's got a good shot at the 8 here. Oh, overcut it a little. Didn't leave Felix too good, so we'll see what Felix does here. The 8's in a pretty good spot no matter where that cue ball lands, so Felix is going to have to come with a shot here.
Yeah, it's definitely not laying out the best for him, so we have to figure something. And with the 8 ball practically in the middle, not much for safety play.
Felix made a great shot there on the 6. Got some love by not scratching and hitting that nipple on the side. Leaving himself a shot on the 4, which he grilled. That's good. It's a tough cut on the 2, but should be pretty natural shape to the 8. This is one of those shots you just got to bear down and just focus on making the ball. Yeah, hit that ball a little full. Left Jaime a pretty decent shot here in the side.
Yeah, a great shot on the 6 and a really good shot on the 4 ball. I was expecting him to get that, but you know, you chalk it up to nerves and everything else, and then you know, Jaime makes his 8, tie the match up 1-1. And this is BCA rules, so it is rack your own. And as you can see after their name, that the numbers there is their Fargo rating. So Felix is a 409, Jaime is a 386. These guys play a lot of pool. So it should be a close match. Yeah, but they're adding extra pressure to themselves just by wanting to win so bad. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, Jaime's breaking. Made a really nice break, but cue ball got kissed in and scratched. So Felix is going to have ball in hand here. Got some problem balls he's got to work out, but he's going to have ball in hand, so he's going to be able to pick his suit, and it immediately gives him control of the table. It's one of the biggest things in pool is having control no matter what game you're playing. Choosing to start with stripes here, and he's starting with the correct ball, which is awesome. I like that. Worked himself out. Got a lot of balls. He's just looks like all these balls on this end of the table are fairly good. He's gonna have to really start thinking about the 9 and the 11. Those are the two balls that he has to actually get somewhat specific shape to. The 11 not so bad, but the 9, he's going to need to get over there and have a decent shot at it. But for now, he's just going to keep working this half the table. Good stroke, good confident stroke. Lots of people, when they're under pressure or getting nervous, they tend to tighten up, pull back on their stroke a little bit, fold up a little bit on their stroke, get them too soft. But neither one of these guys are really doing that. They're both stroking the ball good. You got a long, tough shot on the 11 or a tough cut on the 12 with not really any idea where that cue ball is going to go. Just got to make a good shot, and hopefully he has a good shot after. I think he's back in the same spot, so it makes it tough. I mean, he can make the 11, but he's got to figure out a way to get shape to the 9.
Well, he's super tight on the 11. I think right now the better shot would be the 9 because of the fact the cue ball come off the rail and come out, maybe even give him a better shot at that 11.
That was a good try. I couldn't tell over here that he could see the 9, so I think either shot was going to be a high level of difficulty. So not too bad a try, and actually didn't leave Jaime a whole lot. Jaime's going to try to play a kick on the 4, call the 4 on the side. Nice shot, drilled it. That's one of those shots, like with those 3 balls sitting there, no matter what you do, you're going to get a legal hit, and you have an opportunity to make that 4, which is good. This right here is where I look at playing safe. Looks like he's going to try to cut this too. Oh, he did play safe. Good, nice shot.
Yeah, he hit that pretty good.
That's one of those spots where I would typically, myself, I would try to hit fuller into the 2 and just kind of bank the 2 off the rail a little bit more, get it out kind of in a better spot. Easier to make, have it other pockets to shoot it in, and leave the cue ball where it's at. So he's basically not just playing safe, but he's advancing his ball as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Kick around.
I agree, because that 2's in a funky spot.
It is.
So yeah, him, hitting it a little bit more fuller and bringing it out still leaves the cue ball hooked yet, but it also takes care of that problem on the 2 ball. But at the same time, by leaving it where he did, I don't know that he was thinking about this, but it eliminates the jump shot.
Yeah.
Because had that 2 not been there, most people would have been able to jump that and pocket that 9 since it's sitting deep in the pocket. But yeah, seeing what Jaime just did here, just bumped that 6 and he still got a bad angle on that 2. So now he has to go shoot at something else and potentially get Felix back to the table here.
Yeah. Following up on that thing you mentioned about the jump cue, yeah, that's something that a lot of us think about. But I'll be honest with you, I'm watching these guys play, and I'm just glancing over at their equipment they have, and I don't see a jump cue. So I don't know if either one of these guys have one. If they do, I don't know how well they jump. Kind of like I mentioned before the match, I've seen these guys around a lot, seen them play. We've played against them before, but I don't always pay attention. So I don't know a ton about their game when it comes to safeties and outpull, kicking, jumping. So I'm learning here too. It looks like Felix got himself into a position to try to get out here. Got a tough shot, but
yeah,
doable.
We just gotta go forward a little bit. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm looking over there and I don't see a jump cue in any of their equipment. And then when I think about it, every time we've played them or I've seen them playing, I don't recall ever seeing them jump. Now that doesn't mean that they don't, but yeah, that's a good point, because like I said, I look over there, I don't see one. Normally, anybody who uses a jump cue has that put together and ready within their stick holder.
Yeah. Well, and for those listening on the stream here, you know that it does make a difference. Like Rich said, that was a pretty smart shot. He played, against somebody that does well with a jump cue, because it helps take away the jump. I know for me, when I'm playing in matches, tournaments, whatever, I gauge my opponent's level of pull when it comes to his jumping and his kicking and everything, and then I will try to take advantage of that later on in the match. It makes, if I know that my opponent doesn't really jump or doesn't jump well, it makes my safety game easier to reposition my balls and get safe. Same with kicking. I might choose a different safety if they're a great kicker versus jumper, and vice versa. So it does make a difference.
Yeah. That bank that Felix just tried, I think for me, I would have opted to try to bank to the side versus the corner like he did, just because the cue ball would have been going around 3 rails into the line for the 8 versus the way he went. Even had he made it, he would have been banking the 8 ball too. So that's just maybe a little inexperience, or if he's comfortable with that, then I guess that's fine. But he's got a good look at the 11 now with natural shape, so this is just speed control basically.
Well, looks like he's gonna be getting comfortable with his bank tonight.
Yeah, he was banking pretty good when he was out there practicing. He was banking pretty decent, so he's definitely not afraid of it. But he's opting for the long cut to the corner. Not a horrible shot, but it does. The cue ball, it releases. It's going to do some running back and forth.
Well, that he missed, but at the same time, he didn't really leave Jaime a whole lot, so I'm expecting to see a safety here off this foul.
Yeah, I kind of think that's what he's doing too, because that's pretty aggressive if you're trying to go for a cut.
I don't know. He left it. He hit a little thin. He might have left him the right edge of this 8 ball.
Yeah, I think he left maybe enough for a backup table. Pretty certain he can't see it enough of it to cut it in the corner, the bottom right corner. At least what we see on the screen. Yeah, he called the pocket up top.
The one thing I hate about this is where that cue ball is going off this bank, right towards that bottom right corner. Which this is BCA rules. It's not a loss. Oh, too late now. It is now. So what Rich is explaining to him is in BCA, that's not a loss of game. but once he rakes those balls there, that immediately turns it into a loss of game. And that's just a little bit of knowledge there he didn't know. But it's still early in the race. It's 2-1, and I don't think that's going to make a huge difference in the match. I don't think that was a pressure thing or anything. It's just you're not used to playing a lot of BCA. It can happen. I've seen a lot of people do it, so I'm sure he won't do that for a long time though.
Well, at least if it was going to happen, it happened when it became 2-1 versus, being like hill or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I said. At least it was lucky early in the match.
Right. But yeah, definitely good to know the rules.
Just for people watching, so 8-ball breaks don't count. You can't lose on the break. So if you make an 8 on the break, the breaker has the option of spotting the 8 and continue shooting from where it's at, or they can re-rack and re-break. If the 8-ball goes in on the break and you scratch, that's still not a loss. You can't lose on the break. Same options apply. The only difference is it shifts to your opponent. Your opponent now has ball in hand and has the option of spotting the 8 and continuing with ball in hand, or re-racking and breaking himself. So can't lose while the 8's on the table as well later on in the rack, like we just seen. Scratches are just ball in hand. Your opponent has ball in hand from where the balls lay.
Yeah, that's a good one to know if you're playing BCA, because pretty much every other league, scratch on the 8 is a loss, regardless if it stays on the table or not. An 8-ball breaks or wins, or an 8-ball break and scratch is a loss. But in BCA, they are not. It's designed to make you play the game. So good explanation, Gus.
I see a lot of people starting to jump into the stream. I see Gonzalez J9 says go FELIX. If there's anybody else out there, jump on. Say who you're rooting for. It's good to see. Another thing that some people may not realize is there's other places. Another facility here in town has a lot of pool players down at the ranch, and oftentimes they will stream these on their TV table or TVs so that people in there can watch them as well. And I think they're doing that right now. So pretty cool. It gets a good amount of exposure for our town.
The one thing I'll explain about the BFS matches, typically, and more often than not, we do BFS matches for the mid to low level player. There's a number of reasons for that. Big one is because this is not their normal. They're rarely ever the center of attention. They don't typically gamble, regularly or anything or at all. But and the higher ranked players, especially here in town in our leagues, they've all won the league championship of some sort, or numerous times, or whatever the case. Whereas the mid to low players, because they don't get picked up on stacked teams, they don't ever get to experience that. So this puts them at the center of attention, which adds added pressure to it, which is what we like. And we get to, and what makes it fun is you get to observe how they work it out within themselves to play through it, and the money's never really an issue because it's not like big money, but the fact that there is money on the line, bragging rights, just, all the people here watching, and now the live stream, so lots of people watching. So, that added pressure, it just forces them to learn to play through it somehow, and then when they travel to, say, Lincoln City, for example, and they end up on a TV table over there, then that's not going to be their first time. And so then they have a tendency to do well because they've learned on some level how to play under that pressure. I mean, we have done them before for a few stronger players. And there were some good matches to watch and whatnot. But
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that was you, Josh. Josh and Delmer. They did one, and we did that one in 10 ball. But the reasoning for that one was just a little tune-up. They were both traveling to Vegas to play in a MOB 10 ball tournament. And so we did the one here, just kind of set it up for them to, dial a few things in. It was a pretty good match to watch. They were both shooting really well, and Delmer shot extremely well, and he ended up coming out the victor in that one. But it was a good one to watch. But typically, yeah, we like to do them for the mid to low range, just because we enjoy watching them work through it, and they all seem to have fun. There's never any drama, and they win or lose at the end of it, they're all shaking hands and laughing, having a good old time. And that's kind of stuff we like to promote, not just in the BFS, but in our local pool leagues and everything. It's about having fun, have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Now, jumping back to the match here, Jaime's trying to work out stripes, and one of the big things you want to do in 8-ball is focus on taking care of your problem balls. And if you can't, then you want to look at some kind of safety or something instead of shooting all your balls out, because the good analogy is basically like this is war. And all those balls out there are your soldiers, and you start running your soldiers off the table, and then you have no help. You have no way of getting to your problem ball. So you don't want to do that. You want to try to find it early, play safety early if you need to. And then what happens is not taking advantage of that, like right here, kind of left it to where his 9 is still messed up. But FELIX has balls he can shoot, and he has balls that he can break his 3-ball out with, because his 3-ball is tied up. So it kind of immediately gives FELIX the advantage in this. It's a table control thing.
We'll see how he addresses that 3-ball. He currently cannot go anywhere. But he missed that, and then now we're going to see how JAIME deals with the 9-ball. But to expand on what Josh was talking about with trouble balls, you definitely want to identify which ones. And trouble could mean any, something like where they're tied up or they don't have a pocket to go to. Things that need like a specific kind of shape. You wanna position yourself on shots to give you angles to send the cue ball down, and maybe rearrange a few things to open them up for yourself. In that particular instance, there you could have hit that with more speed, that the cue ball goes down there and possibly hits the 9-3 and opens it up for a shot. Where right now, his best bet is a backspin right at him. We'll see what he does here. So he opted to leave the headache FELIX, but unfortunately, the 9-ball is still in a very neutral position, and by neutral, it doesn't go anywhere. And so, there's no pressure on FELIX to make this shot, because even if you were to miss, then it doesn't sell itself out.
Yeah, just looking at the chat here, I agree. Felix is probably a little nervous. They both probably are. It's different circumstances than what they're used to. Even if they play a lot of pool, still makes a difference. And, you know, like Rich said earlier, they're not just playing for money, they're playing for pride. They got a lot of people watching, and this stream is going to be viewable forever after this, you know, on EvoSports. So it's something they can go back, they can watch, they can watch together, they can laugh, they can see what each other did wrong. You know, they can also use this as a learning tool to improve their game, just by seeing how they play and different ways of doing things. You know, that's why when we do the commentating, we try to also talk about different ways of shooting things, different patterns, different things, just so when people go back and watch these streams, you know, they can get something out of it as well, not just watching the pool itself. So.
You got more family and friends coming in. Pretty cool to see now with ball in hand. Felix lined up straight on the 5, pocketed it, whereas he could have gave himself an angle to follow it forward and break up the 3-9. But because he didn't, the 3 is still stuck. And then now he's shooting a 4. And still has this trouble ball to deal with. Okay, so Felix opted to play safe, but pocketing a 7 ball and turning the table over to Jaime. There was multiple ways to play that shot. He opted for a safety, which wasn't a bad idea, but hit it just a hair hard, opened up the edge of the ball for Felix. So Felix should be able to make this.
That cue ball was coming back to him, and he hopped up pretty quick. Kind of gave up on his stroke there, I think, is what caused that miss. But, you know, he left Jaime a do-or-die bank shot, it looks like here, as he wants to try to roll up on it for another safety. He's calling the bank.
Yeah, he's calling the bank, and you're right. This is a do-or-die situation. We shall see.
Oh. You know, I thought he made it. I'm even sitting in line with it. It looked good. I think it's just some of the English we put on there might have turned it out on the end there. A good try.
Yeah, definitely a good try.
Felix was so excited after that, he just about ran to the table and got down to shoot right away. He can feel that he's going to be able to tie it up here, you know. There it is.
Fine, makes a great shot. The applause in the house.
That's what we figured. Figured it'd be a good match either way.
Yeah, there's now 2-2. Jaime's rack and break.
Jaime's racking, so Felix is coming to hang out with the crowd, getting hugs and high fives. I need to start bringing a crowd with me, Rich. This is awesome. We should have had like an entrance song and stuff. We should have had these guys come in. We could have brought them in right.
Maybe on the rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they bring a large group of people with them, then yeah, they can each pick an entry song. Like with the internet issues we have today, though, the jukebox is off, so that fun can't be had. But we can definitely on another time do it. It would be kind of cool to have some, just make a big old entry. But it is pretty cool to see this whole room here full of their friends and family. Kind of cool that they have that kind of support and people want to, come and watch them play it out live.
Got other pool players from the town rolling in too. Just seen Stephanie walk in, sitting down to watch the match. It's pretty cool. He just had a BFS match not too long ago. Played really strong. A good strong match against Scott Zurich. So he's here to support the guys.
Yeah.
Just looking at the chat here, I wish we could pan the camera. That would be pretty cool. Maybe someday we'll do some adjustments and stuff. But right now with the Evo Stream, we just have the one fixed camera. We can't really show everybody, the crowd, and who's here. It's a good idea though. Maybe adding some other cameras and doing some different things so that people can see the house, see who's here.
Well, maybe I'll take some pictures with my phone and then I'll post them so that you can see. But the best way to see him is to be here. I know it's not always easy, life happening and everything, to come down and hang out and watch a BFS match live. But definitely kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like for me, I'm down here with you, helping commentate this, but I don't have to be. You could send me the stuff, and I could technically do this with you remote if I wanted to, but just being down here and being in the atmosphere makes it more enjoyable for me, at least. Stuff comes up, work comes up. There's going to be times I can't, but when I can, I'll definitely be here. Definitely more enjoyable in person.
Yeah, and the one thing, a couple of cool things with the EvoSports is the remote commentary that's available. So if you were stuck at home doing some work or whatever, I can send you the link and then you can commentate from home, or wherever you are. Pretty cool feature. Patrick and I did a commentary on a money match that was happening in Tri-Cities at Players, and I was at home and he was at home. So that was actually pretty cool. But yeah, I like doing the BFS and doing commentary on it and stuff like that. It really adds a level of legitimacy to this. Even for them to just see us here with the laptops, headsets, and all the gear set up, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, getting back here, Felix is making a really nice out here, but he had one problem ball here that he wasn't able to address. Made a good kick shot. Now Jaime has to try to put in some work on his balls. All his balls go. So, he has a table he can get out on here. He's just got to take his time and start making balls and execute, and not just make balls, pay attention to what he's doing with the cue balls so that he doesn't run into any problems. Maybe a little bit of nerves, missed his first shot. Didn't really leave Felix much. But Felix come to the table quick, excited again, so we'll see.
Well, he's jacking up, so he might have to either bend it a little or jump over the edge. Oh, he almost pocketed the 8, which would have been a loss. But now Jaime has ball in hand. No real trouble balls. I think the one I don't really like, and I'd probably start with first, might be the 3 ball, just because, that's, as it sits right now with the 7 block in the corner, you need specific shape. You find it at home. But he's opting to start with the 6 ball. So we'll see what pattern he opts to try and run here.
I see in the chat you mentioned adding a camera be able to have towards the crowd and everything. It's easier said than done. I mean, we can add cameras. We've got 40, 50 cameras in the place. So adding a camera in here for something like that would be easy. But with these kind of platforms, there's a monthly fee for every camera. So right now, Jim with the Dutch, he went ahead and put in the stream for us for table 1. There's always going to be options down the road to add more cameras for viewing and for doing more tables. But right now, we're just trying to use it the best we can, the way it's set up. And at some point, you know, we'll see where we can take it. But right now, it's pretty awesome what we're able to get with it, and it's definitely brought some fun to some of these matches here.
Yeah, and aside from the BFS matches and stuff, we've streamed league matches, tournament matches, because we do like weekend tournaments here, or sometimes just a Saturday night tournament, and we've streamed every match that comes up on this table, just so, you know, to make sure we're using it. But yeah, Jim was very nice to install this and you know, give us this additional tool to use, and another way to really enjoy pool.
So to back up a little bit, Jaime was trying to get out there, and he ran into the diamond trap. When the ball is super deep in the pocket, and you know, back in the day, it'd be easy just to go rail first and, you know, knock that ball in and play shape back up table. But it's so deep on these diamonds that there's an opportunity that you can't rail first cut that ball like that. You actually have to play into the ball first. And he ended up giving ball in hand to Felix, and Felix was able to get out and make it 3-2 with the break.
Well, the score is 3-2 Felix. In this game, he is strike, looking to cut the 12 ball. Well, he made a nice cut, made the shot. Has shape on the 14 to shoot it down table into the corner. And he could literally just stop shot it there and then play the 13 in the side, but we'll see what he opts for. So now when he makes this shot, he's probably going to end up with the 15 on the side. Depends on what he does with the cue ball. Oh, let him bump. Perfect. Alright. Well, you got action.
You know, he's just watching. It looks like Felix has settled in pretty good in this match. Doesn't seem to be too nervous. He's put a good stroke on the ball. I have noticed anytime he's trying to do a lot with it, he tends to jump up. That's probably what's leading to some of his misses there. That's definitely something he can try to bring to a minimum. But he's got Jaime a chance at the table. Got an open shot here. Let's see what he does with the 7. Yeah, did a good job not shooting too fast, taking his time, a little more methodical. That's good. I'd like to see him work this table out and get out, you know, and get some of that confidence going. Keep this match going strong.
I don't think the 2 goes to that corner. I mean, it might, but it looks very tight. Let's see what he does here. But yeah, it would be cool to see him run this, get out on this table, and well, he married it to the 10. So not only did his 2 go in front and block those 2 balls, but he really didn't leave Felix much. And you're going to play the cut on the 9 into the side pocket. And this kind of shot, you're looking at the tangent line of the cue ball, you would go 2 rails. Yeah, I would have played that cut, the cut going like this, and the cue ball coming 2 rails like this, and breaking that out. That's kind of what I would have went with, or at least tried to do. But
yeah, and you know, he had the angle to do it. He just needed to play it with speed, because once he hits the 9, it would have caromed off to create that 2-rail shape, 2-rail breakout. He just hit it a little softer and ended up overcutting it. That's why it just came 1 rail off. Didn't leave much though. It's a pretty good shot. That 10-11 doesn't really go. All his balls are in the open now.
Yeah, that's not bad actually, because you're right, the 10-11 does not go. And even if he decided to cut the 9 and go around the 1 ball and come back down table, it doesn't resolve the fact that the 10-11 do not go. So looks like Felix is going to have to address that now. Not the worst layout. Definitely caused Jaime a problem with the 3 ball.
Yeah, I think I would have played that a little different myself. I would have probably clipped the left side of the 10, come off the side rail and back down to this end rail, because it would have left the 10 kind of where it was and moved over a little, and then sent the 11 down towards the end rail, and had a chance to get him a good hook and make sure his balls were separated away from each other. This isn't bad. They both go. Just gotta bear down and make them.
Yeah, it's going to have natural shape as long as your speed is correct. He hit that a little slow, but it still has a cuttable angle. It's just a lot steeper than he would have wanted.
looks like he put a little bit of right English when he cut that ball. It's probably something he does to help him cut balls like that. But kept the cue ball down on this end of the table, left him a little bit of a long shot of a 9. The nice thing is, if he plays this with like a medium speed and cuts the 9 in, he should have a pretty good shape to the 8 to play the same pocket. Hit it pretty soft, undercut it, so it didn't really take that natural path. But once again, doesn't look like he really left Jaime a whole lot. I'm not sure Jaime can cut the 3 or not. He can.
No,
It would be good.
Can't see the 3, and just so you know too, the 8 ball does not pass the 3. Well, maybe he can see more of it than I think. Well, apparently he can.
He has to shoot the 1 right now.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Because talking the 2 doesn't. So at least he realizes that and he's going for it. Looks like he's going to go up table and back out. Looks like Jaime has a tendency to hit most shots softly, which in this shot will work nicely. Just needed to pocket it. He left to look at the 9 ball, but it's long and straight, so you know. See what it does for the shape attempt. Well, I'm guessing that's going to cost him the game there.
Three. All right, 3-3. Jaime's break. Let's see if one of these guys can get some stuff. Crush the break. It's scratched. So Felix is going to have ball in hand here. It's a pretty good table.
And for those that don't know, in BCA, if you scratch on the break, your opponent has ball in hand anywhere on the table. You don't have to start from the kitchen. So that's why you saw him shoot that 15 in the side. Okay, so in being on the back side of that shot he just took, forced him into back cutting and hitting the 5. Well, now the 5 is stuck to the 14 ball, creating a problem for both players. He doesn't have an angle to address it right now.
Looks like he's got an angle here to shoot this with some right English, but it's going to take a lot of right English and left English, sorry, get down there to break the 14 out. So he's just going to settle with making it, and let's just be playing the safety here.
Yeah, the particular English shot you were speaking of there, Josh, is a little more advanced, because you really got to load up on it, and you can't hit it with speed because you need that spin to grab the rail and shoot the cue ball forward into that. But he did opt for a safety, or just opening up his ball. Let Jaime back to the table, and all of Jaime's balls have a home. He's not in the greatest of positions right now to pocket a ball, so we'll see. He has some options. He even has safety options, so he's okay. That was a great shot. Perfect speed, just perfect pocket speed, as it's known. Literally went to the edge and just tiptoed over. But in doing so, it did not leave him a good shot. So I don't know if he's going to attempt to shoot that into the 6 ball into the side pocket and roll over there by the 1, or just play safe, hide behind the 1. But looks like he's aiming for it to go to the side, so we'll see what happens.
Doesn't want to hit it with a lot of speed. You're going to have to hit it soft, but you don't want to tear him off and go in the corner of the strip. And he hits most things with that soft touch.
Yeah, I think that was more safety than shot. Just by looking at the speed at which he hit that. And it did hook him, so Felix is having to kick. Well, he managed to take the cue ball down both sides of the 14, but not get a legal hit, giving Jaime the ball in hand he was looking for. And like I said, all of his balls do go now. The only one that requires anything special is probably the 7 ball. So I would definitely start with that, with the 3s right there by the side, so that I'd be going 7-3 and then working the rest out. But we'll see. We'll see what Jaime opts to do. He's currently surveying the land, so we'll see.
I really like him starting with that 7, not just because of what you're saying as far as it being the correct ball, but it's also it's a confident ball to start with. It shows that he's got confidence. He's not playing scared, because there's some people out there that would leave that ball just because it's making the 8 more difficult for one reason or another. But that's not how to play. You always try to play to take care of your problem balls and run out. And he's also shooting this with a little bit more confident stroke, not just soft roll and stuff, which is good to see too.
Yeah, I don't have to agree with that. The 7 was definitely the ball to start with. And you're right, some people would have left it there and started somewhere else thinking, I'll come back to it. And they do that because of the whole if I miss factor. Then you're right, it leaves 8 for your opponent. But, you know, I never go to the I never go to the table thinking if I miss. And anybody who knows me will tell you I am not a two-way shot advocate, especially not at this level. You have to me, you need to be at a higher level to truly understand the value and the execution of a two-way shot. But when Jaime missed, he ended up hooking Felix. Felix kicked, gave Jaime a ball in hand, and it looks like Jaime is starting with a pretty good pattern here. They're going to go 1, 2, 6, 8, which is actually a really good pattern to start because everything's basically simple. So he doesn't have to do anything fancy. Just roll this 2 in, and then he can roll the 6 in, and then roll the 8 in. So nothing fancy. Giving himself the best chance to get the out and go up 4-3.
Yep. Patterns are huge in 8-ball, 9-ball, anything you play, but especially 8-ball. And a lot of people look at that and just figure, oh, he's got 3 easy balls and then the 8-ball. But it's easy to shoot the wrong one and have a pattern that gets you to where you're having to fight to make your balls instead of just keeping them simple like he did. So 100% agree. It's a great pattern to do and to take the lead. Oh, we missed the 8. A little bit of the commentator's curse, maybe.
That's a little disheartening for sure. But at the same time, he did not leave Felix anything simple. I think he's playing safety because he kind of waved it off. He's going to force Jaime into a bank. Because see, realistically, Jaime could basically just do the exact same thing that Felix just did. He could force Felix into a bank because his ball is still laying neutral. And that's what he opted for. But like I said earlier, Felix was practicing banks to the middle pockets there prior to this match. So we'll see how he feels about it because you can't really just roll up and leave Jaime something difficult today. He's too close to the pocket. Well, he drilled the bank, but he left himself a long, tough shot. And for anybody who knows, the closer you are to the object ball you're trying to shoot at, the tougher that shot gets. So we'll see. Well, good for Felix. He made that look easy. Center pocket, but you know that comes with hitting that shot with confidence. He didn't baby it. He didn't hit it with any kind of uncertainty. He looked at it, found his mark, fired at it with the intent to make it, and sure enough, center pocket. Nice shot.
Now this is a point in the match where I really like to see how different people handle things because Jaime should have had that game. He knows he should have had the game. He missed that 8-ball, and he's got to be pretty frustrated with it. And we're deeper in the match, and that was a big game, and it can definitely affect him. So it'd be good to see how he rebounds from this. Hopefully he can keep it together and keep in this match. From what they've showed us this whole time, I don't see it being an issue.
Yeah, they're definitely going back and forth, which is kind of what we expected. But possibly here, just by being this point of the match, Felix has momentum now after basically stealing that game. Maybe carry that momentum and take a 2-game lead. We'll see. So both players have something on the line in this one where he breaks dry and has a couple of nice starting shots for Jaime. So this is a nice opportunity for him to take this game and tie it back up, and then regain the momentum. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Yes, if it hasn't been answered yet, it is the first player to 7. Right now it's 4-3. First player to get to 7 wins the match. These guys, if you hear music coming through, there was some struggles going on here, and they had made comments that they're used to playing with music going, which a lot of us are. Definitely like to have music going when you're playing, and they didn't realize that the jukebox is having some issues, but the issues with the jukebox is the apps. So they got some money in the jukebox, started playing music, and I think everybody's a little happier now. So if you hear some music, that's what it is, just the jukebox.
Just to give everybody a little heads up, this weekend we have the Queen of the Valley tournament here at the Dutch. We will do the draw Thursday night to determine who has to play Friday night, and then we will then let those players know. And then the following weekend we have the King of the Valley, which that tournament is full. But the same thing with that, we will also do a draw Friday or Thursday night to determine who has to play Friday night, and then let everybody know that. And then, for those of you that have Facebook, you can go to the BFS Yakima Facebook page, and you'll be able to see all the flyers for all the upcoming BFS matches. Just off the top of my head, we have, I think the next one is on the 23rd, which is Chelsea Smith versus Murray Eagleclaw. That's a 7 p.m. match, and that should be a pretty good one too, and that'll be our second all-female match. The first one went really well, and I fully expect that one to go well also.
Don't mean to cut you off here, Rich, but Jaime just made a good out and just tied it up 4-4. So the whole match has just been tit for tat so far.
Yeah, it's definitely going back and forth. What I'm liking, though, from either guy is that you don't see either one of them getting all nervous. Okay, and then talked about the one on the 23rd. The 27th has a double header. Sorry, I jumped the gun here. Let me because if I remember right, there's one on the 26th, and that one is out of towners. We'll have Shane Palmer playing Nettie from Spokane. Neppy, sorry. Um, but that'll be a really good one. Both players from out of town, one coming more from the west, one coming from the east. They'll meet here in the middle. And then, like I said, that one's on the 26th. And then on the 27th, we do have a doubleheader. And like I said, you can go to the BFS page and see the flyers for all of these. They all have the dates. On the 27th, we have Kelly Smith versus Matt Mitchell. That'll be the first one, and that'll be followed by Devin Piety against Garrett Hendrickson. Both of those should be pretty good. All four are nice guys and hardcore pool players. They love the game. They love to play. So that will be a fun one. Those will be fun ones also. And then we have, I believe there's a double header in August as well, and I want to say August 17th. I'm kind of scrolling through the flyers here just to see. Yeah, the one on August 17th is Willie Wong versus Cody Wilson. They are 10 points apart, and both of those guys play their hearts out, so that should be another one that's really good. If you have any interest in participating in one of these, just let us know. You can see me, let me know. If you know my number, text me. You can comment on any of these flyers, and we can go from there. But yeah, the BFS Yakima Facebook page has all the flyers posted. It shows all the dates and times. We always post the links there for these live streams when the matches do happen. So you can always go there and you can go there and watch all the matches that have already taken place. And if you scroll back a ways, because we started the BFS back in 2011, I believe. And back then we didn't have the technology for live streams and all of that, but we used to do it with a camcorder on a tripod, and we uploaded the videos into YouTube. But those links are there as well. Those things are still there.
We also used to do a live commentation via Facebook posts on that BFS page, so you could be on there and you can get into the comment sections, and then we would have a play-by-play through each match. Definitely old school, but it was effective at the time.
Yeah, the good old days. He used to just type away doing commentary. But we used to do a number of things, but yeah, so with the installation of this EvoSports live stream camera and the ability to do commentary and everything else, we opted to resurrect the BFS, and it's made a big difference even for me. I really enjoy it even more than I did back then. There was a lot more to it back then because it was new to everything. We even had rack girls. I don't know if you remember that, Josh. Every match had a third-party person that did rack every single game. Of course, I looked, or Josh would look to make sure the rack was tight and everything was perfect as is. But yeah, we had that, and like I said, all the video on the camcorder. And Mike Matthews, he was the one that uploaded everything for us into YouTube, and he removed all the music out of it, or all the sound, so that the music was out, wouldn't get copyright hit. So.
Yep, and they used to, which is something we could probably start doing again, but used to do interviews with the players beforehand and after. And back then, Jared made a plaque, and he used to make plates for after every one of these BFS matches. He would make a plate of who played, what the score was, and we'd post it on that plaque until we ran through the first 12 matches and then did a 24-person singles tournament, winner take all at the end.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that because I have that plaque. Thinking about maybe hanging it up in here, and then at some point get plaques made and then mount them on there for these current ones, and then once we get to a 24-person BFS, then we can do a singles winner take all tournament again. And that one had a nice paycheck to it because I remember Poncho won that, and with winner take all, he and the bar added money at the time. He pocketed nearly $1,000, and at the time that was the largest payout that I knew of in Yakima for any tournament.
But these guys had kind of a funky break here, so this game is one of those games where they're taking a little bit longer, and they're trying to reposition their balls and trying to strategically play the game a little different than just running balls. That was a pretty good shot. Didn't pan out. Lost the cue ball there. Gave Felix an opportunity here, but he's got a lot of work to do still with these balls. So
yeah, that was actually a pretty good shot. He purposely played that carom off his other ball, and he hit it just right. Just a little bit too much speed, like you said. Let cut the cue ball loose, and it was on that perfect line to the pocket. I guess the good benefit out of that was that it didn't open the 8 up all the way. So there's definitely some work for Felix to do here.
Yeah. I don't think that 7-2 really goes too easily, but luckily he fell into the backside cut shape on the 3 that he can run down and separate the 2-7. Just doesn't want to hit it hard. Wants to pocket the ball and separate the 7-2. Put a lot of English on that, and that's why it came off and went up table like that. So it left him a shot, but it's definitely a tough one. It looks like he's aiming it up, so he's going to go for it.
Yeah, that was pretty good of him to recognize that. He had a breakout angle. Like I said, he overspun, and it didn't quite lay out in the easiest place for him, but he just made a great shot on the 2. That was not easy at all. And it came out and gave him a good look at the 4, in which, he could just roll up on this and play the 7 up in the corner, but yeah, the 8 ball's still going to be a problem.
Like I said before, Felix is he's hitting the balls really confident. I mean, even when he's missed some shots, he's still stroking the ball really good. That last rack, I've seen Jaime doing the same thing. So these guys are both in it for sure. They're not playing scared. They're playing to win, which is cool. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. None of us are pros, so there's no judgment on not running tables here. But they're definitely fighting for it. It's cool to see.
Yeah, neither one of them are scared at all. They're both playing their games. They'd basically be playing the same way as if they weren't at a BFS match, just a league night or whatever. They're not playing any different than they would normally play, which is good because that shows you that they're finding their rhythm within the pressure and everything to just play the way they play and let whatever happen. And then Jaime missed that thin cut, got his balls broke out a little. Left Felix shot on the 7. But with his 8 ball tied up and no angle to work it, he opted to just I don't want to say play safe, but he was just going to leave. I mean, tough. And he did. So we'll see what he does with it.
Looks like we're getting more and more people in the chat. If you're out there, let us know who you're rooting for. Say something. We want to get some feedback from you guys. It's cool to see everybody come out and spectate this and give these guys support.
Well, that worked out for Jaime pretty good. He missed the shot, got the breakout on the 8 and the hook. Felix got a nice hit, but he did leave Jaime a good starting shot. So we'll see if he's able to work this out and take the lead.
Also, where do we have people viewing from? Is everybody from the Acme area here, or do we have people from out of town? Got Team Felix in the house. Got some Team Felix shirts sitting next to me, 5 or 6 of them. Crystal's going for Jaime. That's cool. From Stila, I suppose, Crystal, huh?
That is pretty cool that they had shirts made. I actually really like that. That's pretty cool. Huh? Jaime's working the table out. He even threw in a left-handed shot. So this one he didn't follow through, so it comes off the rail and gives him a shot onto the corner.
Wenatchee, Washington, huh? Play a little bit of pool up there. Not a whole lot. There's some new places to play up there, though. So if you're into it, you can definitely take a look. And Jaime gets out, takes the lead again, 5-4. These guys are just going back and forth.
Yeah, I got to give him props on that. He worked it out, got out. And that's, typically if you were feeling a lot of pressure, that's where you would make a mistake, but he did not. So,
there are even some Team Felix shirts over here clapping. Cheering him on. That's awesome.
Hey, don't let me forget to take a picture of each of those. I'm not going to post them. That's pretty damn cool. I took the group picture already, posted it in the comments on the BFS page.
All right, got another table Felix is trying to work out. Put himself in a funny spot here. Kind of left himself a combo on the 11-14 or a back cut on the 10. Looks like he's going for the 10, which I don't necessarily think is a bad idea. that 10 doesn't go where it's at now, into that pocket past the 1. So taking care of a problem ball and might be able to get into a good position if he makes it too. Overcut it. Don't see that happen a ton on those kind of long shots, but it does happen. Looks like he left Jaime a shot at the 7 in the side, and Jaime's got a good table of balls. Let's see if he can take his time and maintain composure and work this out. Tough to make a shot like that when he's, it's hard to reach, hard to get a good stroke on the ball. Give Felix a chance here, tie it up, see if he can work these balls out. Hit that one pretty hard. I'm always encouraging putting a good stroke on the ball, but hit that one pretty tough. I'm not sure if he was figuring he's going to run into something or what, but he's got a tough shot here. Felix ended up missing the 9 ball there, had a tough cut in the side. Didn't leave Jaime a lot here, so Jaime's trying to make something work. See what he comes up with. He's trying to back cut the 1 or the 2, sorry, and it was super thin. Just didn't hit the 2 and move these stripes into a pretty good spot here for Felix. So let's see what Felix can do with this. He's gonna have to figure out how to get shape to the 8, and it's not gonna be easy after that because the 3 ball is gonna be in the way. Personally, I would probably cut the 9 in with a bunch of right-hand English so that when it hits the 3, it'll actually make the cue ball go to the right, 2 rails down table. But instead, he decided to just hit it almost perfect. Oh my gosh. He's going to have a kick shot on the 8 here, but he made that 9 and come down and move the 8 into a decent position, but got hooked. A little unfortunate there.
Yeah, that's a tough one for sure.
Lost the game.
Yeah, You know, it was bad enough that the 8 doesn't go clean by the 1. You know, you got to work it. But then to get married to the back of the 2, in addition to that, that just makes it tough. So, but here's a chance for Jaime to get himself on the hill. He made a like a five ball out on the last game, so he's definitely capable.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I like him starting with the 1 ball here, playing the 1, play shape to the 2 in the side, the 6, and then use the 5 ball as your key ball to the 8. Like we've said before, you know, an 8 ball pattern play is kind of, you know, kind of a big deal. Got a little funny on the 2, but made a good shot. And come up tough on the 5. Not sure if the 5 passes the 6 or not. He may have to play the 5 on the side. So he's going to play the 5 down in the bottom right corner. It's a tough shot. All right, kicked at that ball. Actually hit it pretty good, but a little thin. Scratch gave Jaime ball in hand here with a couple easy balls. So see if he can work it out. It's never easy, so you just gotta make the 6. Cue ball always likes to travel to that top right pocket, so you gotta try to avoid that.
Right after you said it too. I was thinking the same thing. That angle, that's a typical thing. People don't really, you know, give it any consideration when they scratch over there. And sure enough, it hit it right there. But all right, so now Jaime is on the hill.
Yeah, that's a big game. It's always tough when your opponent's on the hill. Puts a lot of pressure on.
And it's Jaime is rack and break too. So you know, I roamed around and took some pictures and got a picture of the Team FELIX shirt. I posted that in the comments of the live stream on the BFS page. In addition to the pictures of the whole family and friend group rooting these guys on, I put the picture of the Team FELIX shirt, which I think is pretty awesome that they made custom shirts for this. That's pretty awesome, I think. Okay, so the score is 6-4 Jaime, and Jaime is rack and break. So he wins this game, he wins this match. So this game is very pressure packed for FELIX because he has to win to keep it going. Well,
a couple balls,
yeah, some clusters on the table. Didn't spread, you know, all over like you'd want, but he did make one of each. Has a starter shot. He got the 5 on the side, or maybe even go down and play that 11. Depends on what he wants to be. Me personally, I think I like the solids better. Now, 4 ball, in case you're wondering, it does pass the 15 to the corner that he's standing in.
Yeah, the biggie is going to be the 2-6 down here. The 6 goes in that top right corner, but I'm going to have to figure out some kind of shape for the 2. Doesn't go by the 11.
See, right here, I'd be shooting the 4 with the intent to shoot the 5 in the side next. And with that angle, should be able to come down to the 6 ball.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be hard to make the 4 and hold shape for the 5 to be able to come down table for that 6. I mean, the way you're cutting that ball and the angle is going, you're going to be on the back side of the 5 if you can see the 5. But maybe the 1, we banked it and drilled it.
He's feeling pretty good. You know, if he wins this game and wins this match, he'll be able to take one of them Team Felix t-shirts and use it to wipe down his car or wipe his feet on or something.
It was a pretty easy shot, but trying to do a lot with the cue ball. Used a bunching, was trying to get to the bottom side of the 2, and ended up missing the 5. Not hard to do, so gave Felix a chance here. I'm sure that's all Felix was wanting. I think I would personally back cut the 9 into the 11 for a combo, but he's just going to go straight for the 11 here.
Well, that actually creates some problems for Jaime for sure. Now that he's pocketed the 2, that 6, you know. But if he gets to the 5 over there, he can get right into the window to play the 6 in this corner. But like I said, it has to be very specific. And the way they're laid out right now, the 9 does pass the 6 to the corner, and Felix is currently standing at. It's just a matter of getting there. And the shape he has right now, I don't think the 13 passes by the 8 ball. I don't have the best angle, but you know, this could be a safe shot here. Just thumping the 12 through the gap. Let's see.
Didn't leave him much. That was one of the reasons I like starting with the 9 ball combo when Felix is starting, because it would have addressed that 13-12 right away. But he made some balls and gave himself a chance to still maintain a little control on the table, because Jaime doesn't have an opportunity to get out here.
Right. He changed where the 6 ball was, and that changed everything. He was playing the bank of the 6 ball. Or maybe he's trying to swerve in there and get that 5 bank, which is
carry that 8 ball there.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow! What a shot that was! And then to get perfect shape too. Don't do anything fancy here. Just pocket your ball to the 8 on a longer shot up table. So this actually works out too, because those 3 balls are down here. So even if you were to miss this, you wouldn't be leaving Felix anything easy.
I'm not sure he's going to miss this, though. He's feeling it right now.
Yeah, he is. A center pocket. Oh, wow.
Good job.
So, Jaime wins 7-4. So Jaime's going to have all the bragging rights and a little bit of coin too. So I'm going to sign off. So going to go into celebration mode here with everybody. So let me just sign off. Say thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thanks to those that were here. Thanks to those who participated in the chat. Like I said, just stay tuned for future matches. And like I said, if you care to do one, let us know, and we'll see what we can do from there. Thanks, Josh, for joining me on the commentary. So signing off. So we'll talk to you all later. Good night.